Hello and good afternoon on a Saturday. You might wonder, why is there a light, so much light in this video? Well, light has always been associated with divine presence, angelic presence. So I assume God must be happy with the making of this video, titled, When Will Arab Muslim slave traders, not ex-slave traders, but slave traders, pay reparation to black people? You see, many black people harp on about the white slave trade, not realizing that white people were trying to abolish this wickedness. And the African slave trade made such an impact that even John Newton, who wrote Amazing Grace, this hymn became, even now it's popular, centuries ago, and yet Amazing Grace. What he was saying, this wicked slaveholder, ex-wicked slaveholder, he was saying when God revealed the love to him, and he thinking, here am I evil, a slaveholder, evil, you do this to a fellow man, and yet God saw it fit to save this brute. Hence, he started the sentence, amazing grace. Amazing grace. This grace that God's given me, this love. How sweet the sound. Here am I having Africans as slaves. I was lost in wickedness, in the depth of darkness. Yet God, with his light, came and showed me his love. Without a prophet, showed me his love. This is somebody who has met love. This is somebody who has met the truth about the brotherhood of man. And St. John Newton then worked to abolish the slave trade, something many black people, many pro-blacks and many Muslims hide. He then went on to abolish the slave trade, something which many black people, pro-blacks, turn a blind to, pretend. It doesn't serve their purpose, you see. Now I'm going to kill that goddamn fly. It's winding me up. Give me 2 seconds. You bugger. Right. Anyway, Muslims. The Muslims have been enslaving, which is why, what's the word Muslim for black? Means slave for black. The Muslims were beating the white people already, ahead of the game. If you're not a Muslim and you're black, you're a slave. But you know something, what's interesting? Many black people keep this history quiet, ashamed, they're embarrassed. They're calling the white man, Christianity is a white man's religion, and they jump from one frying pan into another because they hate to read, they hate to study. So rather, Christianity is a white man's religion, rather do any intellectual research. Now I'm asking you Muslims, who you told these blacks that Christianity is a white man's religion. Whatever you tell me, I accept. Whatever you say, I accept. When are you going to pay reparation, you Muslims? When are you going to show the white people how it's done and pay good reparation? When are you going to give us a share in your oil fields? When? You see, many black people become suicide bombers, turn strange suicide bombers for the glory of Islam, to get back at white people. And I'm saying, what? Look, if you say that Christianity is a white man's religion, whatever you say, I accept. I'm not gonna argue with you. You say it's a white man's religion, I accept. Nation of Islam, they're the one who started this nonsense, and the Muslims. When are you going to pay reparation for the African slave trade, which you still have to this very day? When? All these suicide bombers that's been killing themselves like beasts, like donkeys, are you gonna pay them some salary, pay them some wages? Of course not. Of course not. Because you know that Christianity is really not a white man's religion. It was used by white people, or some white people. It was used by white people in power, just get it right, by white people in power for evil. But it's not a white man's religion. Because Christianity was in Africa way before it even came to Europe. But when you're too goddamn lazy, too thick and stupid to research, you grab onto an idea and you thumb sucking, I want to let it go. You won't let it go. So you blackies, you Negroes, when are you going to go to your Muslims, your Muslim brothers, and tell them, will you pay reparation? You got the nerve to ask white people. White people have repented. White people have expressed their sorrows, even though they weren't, some of them, most weren't even there. You said that they've tried to apologize for the slave trade, even though they weren't even there. Not one Muslim, not one, has apologized for the slave trade that they're even doing now. Because Muslims do not see black people as humans. And I can see why. When they see how your mind reasons, when they see how we think, how we dialogue, how we do business, it's no wonder that Muslims do not even think about reparation. Would you give yourself reparation? Would you? Of course you wouldn't. You're playing games. You don't give pearls to swines. I'm afraid our condition, we are swines. Our condition, mental condition. Let me give an example. I've been making videos trying to unite blacks and whites together, because I noticed the government, they're always pushing the LGBT down your throat. And I'm thinking, wait there, why not shove racial love? Why not shove racial unity? Why not target the children to learn to love one another, black and white? No, they target the children to learn how to suck a dick, a homosexual dick. You know, their claim is to counteract bullying in schools. But the race hate, which is flamming itself, the government don't care about. They leave it. She said, no, something don't add up. So I thought, let me do my bit by sharing race love, education, that we be taken for fools. Anyway, I digress. I said to these dumb Negroes, these King Kong, these baboons, these savages, these big dicks, I said, look, the white man is sophisticated in his thinking, in his structure, in his discipline. The white man will wipe you out. I'm trying to save your life. I'm trying to save you from doing something stupid. Even Louis Farrakhan himself, the biggest troublemaker out. Even Louis Farrakhan says that race war is suicide. Nobody called him a coon. Nobody called him a nigger. Yeah, black people call me a coon and call me a nigger for trying to save their life. When Muslims see this on YouTube, they know what kind of people they're dealing with. Would you give reparation to a mental patient? Of course you wouldn't. They wouldn't know how to spend it. But these are kind of people begging white people for reparation. If I was a white person, to be honest, what I know about black people, I'll tell them go to hell. You're not gonna penny. Learn to love your own people first before you come begging the enemy for reparation. Learn to love your own people. So, black people, not black people are lovely. Negroes, the unemployed, who never worked a stitch of labor in their lives, say, we want reparation. We want reparation. I said, beautiful. You want reparation? I agree. Why don't you go to the Muslims who told you that Christianity is a white man's religion? Why do you go to them for reparation? Let them be a beacon of light. Let them show the white man how it's done and get a check and put together a big check. No Muslims are going to do it. No Muslim is going to pay no goddamn reparation. They look at you the way you are, the way you act. We don't raise our sons properly. Our families are dysfunctional. We have no shame. And black on black crime. Oh, and we're proud of it. We're proud of it. Oh, well, whites kill each other too. Blacks are only 13% of America, 2% of Britain. Yet we try to justify self-genocide by comparing the 0.000 whites killing each other. The same Negro that is egging on a race war, the same Negro have no problem selling you to slavery. They know full well you can't win it, but their hate in their heart, the hate they have towards white people and the hate they have towards their own race, they're just driven by hate. Death and destruction is no wonder half of them became Muslims. Because Islam is death, destruction and misery. You asked your brothers, the Muslims, you ask your sisters, the Muslims, when will they pay reparation to you? When? You claim that your family? You claim that it's a black man's religion? Good! It's a black man's religion, yeah! Ask them for reparation. These Muslims with good oil. I see where you get. See where you get. No race on earth take black people seriously. No race on earth, and the niggers are proud of that. Decent black people, we're ashamed. Sometimes we find it hard to walk on the streets, wondering what people think about us when they see us. But the nigger, he has no shame. He dressed like scruff, just like a tramp, dressed like a homosexual, in his panties, that half his back crack. He's got no shame. He's an animal. He doesn't care how the world sees him as. He's an animal. And when you're an animal, you're a beggar. You just go through life begging. That's what black men are good at. Begging. Ooh, ooh. So if he doesn't get what he wants, I want a race war. He doesn't care how he's outnumbered because he's setting up black people. The same nigger that sold blacks to slavery. The same nigger that will tell you go to race war. Setting you up. But I digress again. The Muslims should offer to pay reparations, since the Muslim told the dumb Negro that Christianity is a white man's religion. So if Christianity is a white man's religion, why the hell should a white man give reparation? Why should he? He's only doing what in his mind is right. The Muslim, he's enslaving his own brothers and sisters, and according to the Quran, or according to Muslims, that is wrong. That should be done only to Kafirs. So when are you going to pay reparation to your own black brothers? You tell me who you told Christianity is a white man's religion. When are you going to pay reparation? Tell me, Muslims, tell me. The whole world is seeing the title of this video. Will Muslims pay Africans or blacks reparation? Will they? The world is watching you now, Muslims. The world is watching you. What's your excuse for not paying it? What's your excuse for not paying reparation? You have no problem telling a black man that Christianity is a white man's religion. And you knew you were lying. But you knew black people don't read. You knew black people were mentally retarded. You know no nigger has a book in his house. No nigger has a book in his house. No nigger. You knew that. So by telling him Christianity is a white man's religion, you had him hooked. You had him hooked. He became your customer. When will you pay reparation to Africans and blacks who became Muslims, or Negroes who became Muslims? When will you pay reparation, Muslims? When? Are you gonna act shy? Are you gonna act shy? Be a man. When are you gonna pay reparation? We want to know. Everybody's booing the white man. Everybody's targeting the white man. Always the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man. The LGBT target the white man. The white feminists, they target the white man. Disabled target the white man. Let's get fair here. Let's get fair. I'm sick and tired of beating down on the white male. In fact, if truth be known, the racism I've experienced in my life, I used to do nursing, it's always been white females. Never white males. Never. Seldom white males. A white man, if you conduct yourself right, they treat you with respect. White males are only racist because of ignorance and what the media portray black men as. But when a white man sees that, my God, he's different, I've never seen a white man hold on to his racism. I've come across white males who were racist, and when they saw I was different, boom, their racism just vanished. The Hollywood and the media, they stop racism. They want to keep people ignorant. They don't mind cooking up LGBT, promoting it, same-sex marriage and gay adoption, and they forcing down people's throat. That they don't mind doing. That they don't mind doing. It's still is that. But racial love, that they'll never do. Racial peace and harmony, that they'll never do. But my question, you Muslim, will you be offering to pay reparation for the slavery today in Darfur? For the women, black girls you've kidnapped in the Boko Haram, are you going to pay reparation? And while you're at it, are you going to, well, that's a different issue altogether. But let's start with the Africans, the ones who you told that Christianity is a white man's religion. You took away what gave him hope. You took it away and gave him Islam, death and misery. You gave him what you knew for a while could not save him. When will you pay reparation? When?
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Mit Gebeten hat man sie gelockt. Die Araber bringen bereits im 7. Jahrhundert den Islam nach Afrika und mit ihm die Sklaverei. Denn wer kein Moslem werden will, wird als Sklave in die muslimische Welt verschleppt. 17 Millionen Schwarzafrikaner trifft dieses Schicksal. Die Geschichte dieses Menschenhandels ist in Afrika bis heute ein Tabu. Tidiane Ndiaye bricht das Schweigen. Der senegalesische Anthropologe fordert, die Sklaverei der Moslems endlich aufzuarbeiten. In seinem Buch »Der verschleierte Völkermord« beschreibt Ndiaye dieses wenig erforschte Kapitel der Geschichte.
Der muslimische Sklavenhandel war der längste in der Geschichte der Menschheit. Er währte 13 Jahrhunderte und hatte viel mehr Opfer als der Sklavenhandel nach Amerika, der 400 Jahre dauerte. Und das Traurigste daran ist, dass die meisten der Verschleppten unglücklicherweise keine Kinder bekommen konnten, weil sie kastriert wurden.
In die arabische Welt, in die Türkei, nach Persien und nach Indien werden die Schwarzafrikaner verschifft. Oder sie werden durch die Sahara nach Nordafrika getrieben. Viele sterben schon bei den Überfällen auf die Dörfer, viele an den Strapazen des Transports. Wer auf den Sklavenmärkten ankommt, wird kastriert. Laut Ndiaye überlebt nur einer von 5 diese gefährliche Operation. Die grausame Prozedur trifft alle, die Männer, die auf Plantagen oder im Bergbau schuften, ebenso wie die, die im Haushalt arbeiten oder die Harems bewachen. Diese Eunuchen findet man noch Anfang des 20. Jahrhunderts.
Die Araber und die Nordafrikaner waren Rassisten. Sie verachteten die Schwarzen. Deshalb wollten sie nicht, dass sie in ihren Ländern Kinder zeugten. Das erklärt, warum es dort heute keine starke schwarze Diaspora gibt wie in den USA, die eine Aufarbeitung dieser Geschichte fordert und eine Wiedergutmachung.
An die Sklaverei der Europäer wird auf der senegalesischen Insel Gorée erinnert. Hier wurden Tausende eingepfercht und nach Amerika verschifft. Solche Erinnerungsorte forderten Ndiaye auch für den brutalen Menschenhandel der Moslems. Der ist für ihn ein Völkermord, denn ein Volk von Kastrierten kann keine Nachkommen zeugen und stirbt zwangsläufig aus. Die Versklavung geschah übrigens im Namen Allahs.
Der Koran hat die Sklaverei niemals unterbunden. Im Gegenteil, es gibt viele Stellen im Koran, die die Versklavung von Nichtmuslimen empfehlen. Und im Gegensatz zur Ächtung der Sklaverei im Europa der Aufklärung gab es nie auch nur einen arabischen Intellektuellen, der sich je für die Sache der Schwarzen eingesetzt hat.
Im Sudan rufen die Araber schon im 7. Jahrhundert den Dschihad, den heiligen Krieg gegen die Schwarzen, aus. Noch heute werden hier Tausende von ihren eigenen Landsleuten versklavt. Viele Afrikaner beten in Moscheen, obwohl ihre Vorfahren im Namen des Islam geknechtet wurden. Über Jahrhunderte wurden afrikanische Könige gezwungen, sich dem Islam zu unterwerfen und noch dazu Sklaven als Schutzgeld auszuliefern.
Durch die Islamisierung wurden die afrikanischen Könige zu Mittätern. Wer sich dem Islam unterwarf, konnte der Versklavung theoretisch entgehen. Wer kein Moslem werden wollte, sollte gezielt gejagt werden. Das war der Grund für die Kollaboration und das entfachte viele Kriege zwischen den afrikanischen Völkern.
Die Europäer schauen bis ins frühe 20. Jahrhundert zu. Obwohl sie den Menschenhandel längst verboten haben, dulden ihn die Kolonialarmeen vor Ort. Ein Zentrum des schmutzigen Geschäfts ist die ostafrikanische Insel Sansibar. Hier landen die Menschen nach dem Verbot der Sklaverei in unterirdischen Verliesen. Den berüchtigten Tipu-Tip macht der Menschenhandel zum zweitreichsten Mann Sansibars. Noch nach 1920 schuften Sklaven auf den Plantagen der Insel. 13 Jahrhunderte Sklaverei aufarbeiten, dafür gibt es offenbar weder in Afrika noch in der islamischen Welt Bereitschaft.
Es gibt eine Solidarität zwischen den Afrikanern und den Arabern wegen der gemeinsamen Religion, dem Islam. Man zieht es vor, über diese schmerzhafte Geschichte nicht zu sprechen. Man richtet die Aufmerksamkeit lieber auf die Schuldigen, die alle schon kennen, die Europäer und die Amerikaner.
Tidiane Ndiaye will das nicht hinnehmen. Weder als Intellektueller noch als Enkel eines senegalesischen Königs. Und auch nicht als Moslem.